Hey mama, I polled my 415,000 followers and asked them, what type of birth class do you want? And they told me we want something simple that we can listen to on the go, whether you're nesting, you're walking, or just trying to rest. So I created the Calm Labor Birth Pod. It is my audio-only birth class designed for real life. So if you're pregnant, you're overwhelmed by all the what ifs, you don't need to Google. You just need calm, evidence-based guidance from a labor nurse. You can listen on the go. It's $97, or you can start today for just $33. Go to labornursemama.com/guide or hit the link in the show notes to grab it. Hey mama, welcome to Pregnancy Unpacked. I'm Trish, a labor nurse of 16 years, mom of 7, and your birth bestie. And I'm going to be walking you through not just baby bumps and fruit sizes, but the entire identity shift that pregnancy will be for you. Each episode drops every Wednesday, and we're going to unpack what's happening in your body, what to expect, what to do, what's normal, even when it feels extremely weird, and how to actually feel supported emotionally and physically. You're going to hear from me where I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I'm going to be cheering you on along the way. You can follow along each Wednesday because pregnancy deserves more than outdated advice and Google anxiety. Hey mama, welcome back to Pregnancy Unpacked. I cannot believe we are at 37 weeks. I don't even understand it. This has gone so fast. Probably not for you as fast as for me, but I am so excited to be here with you at 37 weeks. And we're going to talk about baby. We're going to talk about your prenatal appointments, preparing for birth, and your mindset. If you forgot, I am Trish Ware, your favorite, right? Your favorite labor nurse turned your birth bestie. And if you are close to 37 weeks or right at 37 weeks, congratulations. Your baby is officially considered early term. And you are entering into what I like to call any day, but maybe not territory. So we're going to unpack what's really happening this week, what to expect, what you might feel in your body, and just how to navigate the end of pregnancy. So hopefully that sounds good. Okay, so you might feel like you've been pregnant forever, but that's not the case. And guess what? It's coming to a close. Your little one is probably head down and getting into a launch position. They are around 19 inches long at 37 weeks and weigh in around 6 to 7 pounds. I mean, pick up a 6 to 7 pound weight. That's pretty hefty that you've been carrying around. And you may be noticing movements feel different, but I want to caution you. A lot of people will tell you that baby doesn't move as much at the end of pregnancy, but that is not true. And that can be very dangerous advice. They are actually moving differently, more rolls and stretches, less kickboxing. And that's totally normal because baby is running out of room, which you probably already know by looking at yourself, but you should still feel consistent movements every day. And we have a fetal movement count sheet that you can get in our 3rd trimester prep pack. We have a link down below, or go to labornursemama.com/3rd. Here's the thing. Movements are so important because they tell you and they tell us that baby is getting enough oxygen. So if movement suddenly drops off or slows down or just doesn't feel right, I'm giving you permission that you are not overreacting, that you have every right to call us. We do not fault you. We want to see you every time your gut feels like something's not right. We want to see you when it comes to movement, okay? Not like every fear bump in the night, but if you really legit feel like something just doesn't feel right, that is enough for me to check you in and check out baby. So let's talk about 37 weeks. Here's a juicy little stat for you. According to the CDC, births at 37 weeks have gone up nearly 50% since 2014, which is a huge jump. So 37 weeks is not dangerous, but it's still technically early term. So it's really not what we want. But babies that are born at 37 weeks, they might still struggle with some breathing compared to babies who are born at 39 weeks, which they're going to have stronger breathing, feeding, and brain development. So that's why like 37 weeks baby is okay. And I say that in quotes, to be born, but they're not ready. They're not cooked all the way, right? We want them to cook as long as possible. And that's why most providers will not induce, and they're not allowed to induce unless there's a solid reason, like a medical reason, like high blood pressure or low fluid or gestational diabetes that's out of control. And that decision is made when it looks like baby or mama are going to be better off apart than together. So if you're feeling done, I feel you. I've had a lot of babies. I really do. But if your body and baby are doing good, staying pregnant a little longer can be so powerful for your baby. Let's talk about your 37-week prenatal appointment. This week's appointment is kind of a big deal. Here's what might go down. You're still going to do the same old weight, blood pressure, belly measurements, baby's heartbeat, which is like sweet little music. Position check is something we're going to be doing. They've probably been doing that a little bit, just checking right above the pubic bone if baby is head down, or maybe baby was breech before and we're seeing if baby's head down. If baby is still breech, your provider might suggest something called an external cephalic version, or they're going to call it an ECV. I actually had one of these with Gavin, my baby number 4. It's not the most gentle of things. It is a manual way to try to turn the baby's head down. It's not always successful. For me, it was worth it. My midwife was willing to do a breech delivery, but unmedicated breech delivery was not really what I wanted. So I opted for the ECV. So what happens is you get admitted to labor and delivery. Some providers prefer that you get an epidural, some don't, but really it's up to you. I did not get an epidural. I wasn't planning for my birth to get an epidural, so I wasn't going to get one for this. We give you a medication that's going to speed up your heart rate, but relaxes your uterus. So it's very uncomfortable. I'm just going to tell you that. A lot of people don't tell you that. It is uncomfortable, that medication, but for me, it was worth it. They turned Gavin. So they give you the medication, relax your uterus. 2 doctors will come in. One pushes this way, one pushes counterclockwise, and they gently turn the baby head down from the outside of your tummy. So it's a little disconcerting, but it's safe. And they're going to talk this over with you. Again, this is your decision. You get to decide. For me, it was what I chose to do. Now, you should have had your Group B strep test by now. If not, you're going to be having it this week, more than likely. And that is a test where we do a swab from your vagina down to your booty, and we're checking if you have Group B strep positive in this area. We're going to be checking if you have Group B strep. Now, I have an article all about that, so I'm not going to go into it. I think we have a podcast as well. We'll link in the show notes. So let's talk about things to check off at this visit: confirming baby's position, going over your birth plan, asking about early labor signs, what's normal, when should you call. Last week, we talked about talking about the process for checking in at the hospital. If you haven't done that, do it, because when you are in labor and you come to the hospital in the middle of the night, the entry, the process, where you're going to go, all those things are different than if you come in the morning. So talk with your provider about that. Also, double check your hospital bag, get your car seat ready. I recommend going and having your car seat properly checked. There's different websites and things that you can do to check out if the car seat is properly installed, because those things are a pain in the arse, I'll tell you. If you're doing cord blood banking, you need to have that kit in the car ready to go as well. And you're going to take that to the hospital and give it to your labor nurse. Here are some things that you might be feeling this week. You might be feeling a lot of pelvic pressure, like baby is trying to moonwalk out of your vagina, and you feel a lot of heaviness when you stand up. You're probably having more and more Braxton Hicks, and they're a little sassier now, but that's okay. You are peeing like a mother again. That struggle is real. That is going to end soon, I promise you, but it's kind of like first trimester when you were peeing all the time. You probably are seeing some swelling in your feet and hands, which is normal. But if you see uneven, like one hand is swollen and one isn't, or it's suddenly you get swollen, you need to let your provider know about this. That could be a sign of preeclampsia. You probably are having some back pain. Oh gosh, this sounds so much fun, doesn't it? all these things I'm listing, I'm so sorry. Back pain, poor sleep, and you're probably leaking colostrum. I love Haka's colostrum collectors. We will link in the show notes as well for you to be able to order those. And you don't have to like actively collect colostrum, but you can passively, and it's really great for later on. You don't necessarily, unless you have a high risk reason, you don't necessarily need to bring it to the hospital. If you're gestational diabetic, I would take colostrum to the hospital. You might suddenly find yourself organizing your fridge. That is the nesting instinct kicking in. I love the nesting instinct. Like, I had such a clean house when I was at the end of every pregnancy. It's totally normal and I love it. But I would tell you, don't overdo it. Be sure that part of your labor prep and part of your end of pregnancy plan is resting, because having a new baby and being sleep deprived and your body is healing is so difficult. So I really recommend that you're taking some care of you right now. One of the things we recommend in the labor bat signal and to our students is that if you are doing all your labor prep and all the planning into pregnancy, also schedule in something just for you. So maybe go to the movies with friends, do something that you can't do after baby is born. Remember that the more you honor yourself and show your family that you are valuable by honoring yourself, you're setting up this lovely precedence for your family that mom is important, because a lot of times as moms, we tend to put our needs last. So I want you to start practicing self-care now. Okay, check that off, put that on your birth plan. I'm practicing self-care. You're probably feeling excited and nervous, scared, but also excited, empowered, exhausted, ready, unsure. And all of that is normal and it's okay. And it can all live inside the same body. So that doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just means you're human, you're normal. And growing a whole human inside of you is a pretty crazy experience that can throw you out of whack a little. So if you're not bouncing with joy every second, that's also normal. And some moms experience that. So that doesn't make you wrong or bad. You don't have to feel a specific way just because someone says you should. You don't have to feel excited 24/7 to be a good mom. You are still amazing and you're going to be an incredible mom. So let's normalize that we all feel different emotions. We're not all one like little robot person. So your 37-week checklist this week: pack your hospital bag. You have to, yes, for real, have it ready to go. Have your car seat installed professionally. Just make sure you're doing it right. This is so, so important. Finalize your postpartum support, your meals, your help, all of those things. Keep track of the baby's movement. This is so important. Again, remember, baby doesn't slow down their movements. Their movements are just different. Print out your birth preferences sheet, your birth plan, your birth map, whatever you want to call it. Prep your partner and your support person. And what are your non-negotiables? Like, talk that out with your birth team. Like, what is non-negotiable for you during your birth? Now, I always say inside my classes that you have every right to refuse whatever you want, but should you? So if you have a non-negotiable, but you're not really sure the reasons we use them or the reasons why you shouldn't use them or should use them, you need to know that, because you don't want to make a willy-nilly. Is that the right? Am I saying that right? You don't want to make a willy-nilly decision during your birth. I think so. Anyway. All right, mama, you know I like to keep these short and sweet. These are just your weekly check-ins. Week 37 means you are almost there, but not quite there. But it feels like a long time. But then after it's over, you're like, oh my gosh, it went so fast. Now's the time to stay calm. Ask questions. You have every right to ask questions. You're not a bother. Trust your body, though. I want you right now to look down at your body out loud in your car, wherever you're listening to this. And I want you to say, you are freaking powerful, because your body is so powerful. I know you're waking up in the middle of the night with wild dreams, and I know you're peeing every 3 seconds, but you're doing it. You're doing it so amazingly. And you are so precious to us here at Labor Nurse Mama. This is just all a part of this beautiful, messy, miraculous road to your birth experience. And no matter how it unfolds, you are not alone. We are here with you. If you loved this episode, don't forget to hit follow and share it with a mama who needs to hear that she's incredible and she just wants a little check-in. We have our Pregnancy Unpacked on Wednesdays, and we have the Birth Experience, our full podcast with all different types of episodes and interviews, on Fridays. So we are there with you guys. I'll see you again next week for week 38. Holy smokes, where did all this go? Where we're going to be talking about the final countdown. We're going to bust into some birth topics, and we want to see you again next week. All right, you guys, that was your weekly check-in for 37 weeks pregnancy. I love it. You're getting there. You're incredible. Keep moving that body. Keep doing your deep breathing, your calming techniques. And as always, just remember, you are so magical and amazing, and I adore you. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.